And we are live. Hey, thanks for waiting, everybody. That was crazy. Technical difficulties. It's so weird to have a technical difficulty when you just did this. We just did this last Thursday and it worked just fine. So crazy, but sorry we're a little late. But hey, we're here. Hi, Jinni. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm good.
I love your hat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm like, I got to at least put on a little Christmas hat to get in the festive season here for the webinar today. Yay. And it is a Christmas miracle. We got it to work. I mean, I was just about to pull the plug and then poof, just like Santa coming down the chimney, Jinni was here.
This miracle on 38th Street.
All right. So I've got everything loaded in order that you sent it to me. And so the floor is yours, my dear.
Okay, well, since we've had all these, I had everything pulled up. Now let me go back and pull everything else up. I am sorry. I just got bumfuzzled with all of the tech difficulties that we had. So, okay, I've got my outline pulled up. So we're going to start by talking about identification of ornaments. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually look at the top of an ornament and determine who the maker is. And Jason, you have that pulled up, the little blog that we have.
Go away. All right, there we go.
If you go into the files of Yes, Virginia, you'll see ornament, caps, tags, and hook and hangers. And not all ornaments have hangers. Some of the most popular ones that have them are like Shiny Bright and Pecan. Not Shiny Bright, but Radco. They all have little hangers. The caps have different designs, as you can see. And they can also have, on the hook, they can have different shapes. And if you'll scroll down a little bit, Jason. This is Merck Old World Christmas. This is one that has a tag. It's a heart-shaped tag. And if you'll look at the cap, you'll see that it has OWC, Old World Christmas. And scroll down a little bit more, Jason. Shiny Bright. I love Shiny Bright. Shiny Bright's one of my favorite. This one actually says Shiny Bright, made in the USA. Over to the right, you're going to see some with paper caps. During World War II, they didn't use metal. If you find one with a paper cap, you have a treasure, and it's worth quite a bit of money because those paper caps deteriorated. But those were just a wartime effort, and they were saving the metal. So, again, and it won't say anything on it. And scroll down just a little bit more to Christopher Radco.
Before we scroll down, we already have a question from the in-studio audience. If you find one with a paper cap, how much is that worth?
Oh, it would depend on the condition of the ornament. If you had a box of them, I would say an ornament that was stenciled or a special indent could be worth upwards of $100, $150.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Oh, I just found out that one of Summer's children broke one.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Tell me it's not so. Okay, this is my favorite one to identify. And more people send me instant messages or they ask on the board, what is this ornament? It is a Christopher Radco. Now, beginning in 1986, and he's a relatively new Christmas ornament maker. He's not vintage. Well, I guess 86 is vintage. It doesn't seem like to me, but it is. He had just a round hoop for the hanger. In 2002, they went with the star tag. So if you see a star tag, you know it's a Radco manufactured after 2002. They also have a star hanger. Now, the thing about Christopher Radco is that they also do a Polonaise line. All Polonaise means is made in Poland. So if you see something that has the Radco cap with the little Radco design, and it says Polonaise on the cap, All that means is it was made in Poland, and they called them Polonaise. They didn't call them Radco, but they were Polonaise made by Radco. So, like I said, I get more questions. This is Ing glass. They have a 5-pointed star hook. They call it a crown, and they will say either Germany or West Germany. I sell quite a few Ing ornaments, and again, it's quite clear there. If you look at your cap, if it matches that one, then you have an Ing. And the top of the cap, like I said, will say Germany or West Germany. Of course, West Germany is going to date it prior to what, 1980 something.
88,
so
87, somewhere in there. All I can picture is David Hasselhoff singing on top of the Berlin Wall as it was coming down.
Oh yeah, and it just goes on and on and on. The next one shows a Kugel cap. The thing about a Kugel cap is if it's a real antique or vintage Kugel cap, when they made the ornaments, they cut where they had blown them, blown the glass bulb. They had cut it off even and put the cap on it. The newer ones that are reproductions, they have a neck on them. And we'll talk about Kugels here in just a second. Let's scroll down. Catherine's collection. This is actually a very good seller. And it has a very distinctive cap. She also has a tag that says Catherine's collection. She's probably best known for her fish. She does some great fish ornaments. But she does all kinds of things. But that's her cap. And then this is also, these only say, scroll down a little bit, they only say DBGM, and everybody thought that was a actual name of an ornament. It's like a patent, and it's a little plastic lid or cap, and it simply means that it was made in Germany and it was patented in Germany. We really don't know who made them. These are Krebs and Son. Krebs originated in Germany. Some are West German. And they moved to Roswell, New Mexico. They're hand-blown ornaments. I sell quite a few of these. That's the cap. So this goes in about the Radco and Polonaise, which we just discussed. That's a Polonaise cap. Looks exactly like a Radco. They use the same cap, but it's labeled Polonaise. So it's a little confusing on that one. Okay, keep scrolling. Let's see. Thomas Piccone, he died not too long ago. He sold these ornaments on the Home Shopping Network. He designed blown glass, and he has a tag that looks like a little clock kind of like thing. And he has the very distinctive 2 triangle cap. I can sell these. There's a lot of people that evidently bought them on the Home Shopping Network and lost them or broke them, because they do sell, even though they're, modern. But again, he died. So, but that is a Piccone. This is Old World Christmas, Santa's Best. Old World also has a tag. Has just a round hook, but you can identify from the cap. Santa's Best, and it says Santa's Best on the cap. Reindeer on the cap. That's one that we don't know who made it. We're still researching that, trying to figure out who this maker is. I mean, we get caps all the time, and eventually we'll figure it out. This is somebody that just put in a Radco cap. Patience Brewster, they have a tag on them. And you can see the cap, rather distinctive. That's the cap for the Patient Brewsters. But this just gives you an idea of, if you have an ornament and you can't identify it, then go into our caps, tags, hooks, and scroll through and see if you can match up what you have. There's one for the Bombay Holiday European Treasures. that I recently found. If you have a ornament that you can't identify, we also have a thread that says, help us identify this. And if we're lucky, then someone will have an ornament that was in the original box that they can identify it with. Or we can do some research and try to figure it out for you.
I just posted a question.
This is a broken ornament. But it's a lovely picture of the cat.
Oh, yeah, it is a broken ornament.
Uh,
We have a question in the chat, but it's from also the live audience here. Plastic West Germany caps, do they have a specific maker?
no, that was the thing. That DCGM just meant that it was a patented ornament, but we don't know who patented, who had the patent. That's
I have a box at home that has a brand name on it. I will look it up.
okay.
I'll post it.
That would be great.
I didn't recognize it. I didn't know.
Okay. Let's see. Just going through. Oh, these are Rauch, R-A-U-C-H. We've had quite a few people find these. They're pretty valuable. They're vintage. Most of them are just plain round bulbs, but that is a brand that people are looking for.
Make sure that when you take these pictures, you're wearing clothes.
That is ever so true, because you
I see Sherry's hand in there.
definitely do reflect.
There's her iPhone.
There's her iPhone.
All right, is that it for this link?
That's it for this one. I mean, like I said, if you have an ornament that you cannot identify, before you start asking, scroll through here and see if you can find it. I mean, and then if you can't find it, then definitely let us know, or post a picture of the cap, the hook, or the tag, or all three in the unidentified thread for ornaments, and our team will get on it and try to figure out who made it, what the brand is. So.
Nice.
Okay, let's go on to what is mercury glass and what is I think I called this Kegel on the other show last week. I was tired. It's a Kugel. Mercury glass. Mercury glass is an antique or vintage ornament that was hand blown, and it's double-sided, and the mercury was then put in between the two glass ornaments. And I think one of my teasers was, what did Queen Victoria married a man who had a big influence on Christmas tree decorating. And Prince Albert, not in the can, but in the Christmas spirit, came from the region in Germany where they manufactured these kugels. And so when he married Queen Elizabeth, they started having a lot of children. They had lots of children. And he did all the decorations. I guess Victoria wasn't into it, but he was. And he put up huge trees, and they had huge Christmas parties. But he introduced the kugel to England, and that's when it gained popularity. But again, that is mercury, and it's some kind of a grape. They mixed mercury with a grape fluid, something made with grapes, and poured it in between the two. And if you take off the lid or the cap of a mercury glass, you can see that there are two distinct layers in there where the mercury glass was poured in. Some of them were sealed with cork. Some of them are quite old, going back to like 1840s, 1850s. But there are a lot of people out there. If you go online, you'll see a lot of mercury glass ornaments for sale for $200, $300. They're not mercury glass. So, and then pardon?
Liars.
Liars, I know. Well, they would like to think that they were, they would like to think they were, but they just don't know.
James, is mercury glass the same as Vaseline glass?
I don't think so. I'm not really that familiar with Vaseline glass, so I really can't say. I'm not going to say yay or nay. I don't know.
All
And
right.
then the kugels are silvered. That means that they were they had silver in them, a silvered inside. On the original Shiny Brights, they were silvered inside and out to make them shiny bright. So if you find an ornament and you want to know if it's an actual kugel or if it's a mercury glass, now you kind of have a clue as to what you're looking for. And then we're going to go on to vintage brands to keep your eyes peeled for. Let's start with the infamous Shiny Brights. Probably one of the most popular brands out there. Started in 1937. A gentleman by the name of Max Eckert started it. He made all different kinds. They come in indents. They come in stenciled. He also made tree toppers. They have all different kinds of shapes. Some of these stenciled ones are going for good money. They're going for anywhere from $30, $40 up to $100. Same on the indents. I think we talked a little bit about these on the show last Thursday, and the boxes sometimes are worth as much as the ornaments. So if you find a box, some people part them out. They'll sell the box and then they will sell the ornaments individually.
You think that's a better way to do it?
It all depends on what's in the box. And like I said before, a lot of times you open these boxes back in 1940, people might not have put actual Shiny Brights in the Shiny Bright box. So you might pop open a box and it could have an antique kugel in there that's worth more than, 10 times what the box of Shiny Brights is worth. So
you really got to pay attention.
You really have to pay attention. These are getting harder and harder to find. Back in the early 2000s, when I started on eBay, I could pick these boxes up at estate sales left and right. You're just kind of lucky if you find a box nowadays. You can find the individuals, but okay, let's go on to Steinbach. And the teaser on this one was, what sells that sounds like a piano, not Steinway, but Steinbach. These are little wooden ornaments. And, you go to Dollar Tree or Dollar Store or whatever, and you'll find those little boxes of wooden ornaments, and they're $1 a box. And you think, oh, I can sell these. Well, there are certain brands, and the German Steinbach wooden ornaments are the ones that really sell well. They, as you can see, it's clearly marked on the bottom. They also are famous for their nutcrackers. They come in a box, clearly marked Steinbach. And some of these ornaments, if you'll go down to the sold, scroll down a little bit, Jason, and you'll see that some of these, this little horse, this little wooden horse, sold for $21.50. Oh, I've got one without it. It was an elf car racer. I need to go delete that. This was a bride and groom, sold for $29. These were beekeepers, $49 for 3 little wooden ornaments. This lady said that she sold an empty Steinbach box, so like Shiny Bright. And then go down, sold for $149.95 plus $35.65 shipping. That is a nutcracker.
And all these we just see. Are we just seeing? Are they yours?
Oh, you scrambled up there. What did you say?
I said the ones we're seeing here, are these your specific sales?
No, they're not. They're ones that I have pulled off of eBay. I have sold Steinbach ornaments before. I just didn't list any of mine. On this particular nutcracker, he actually had a broken, repaired hand and still sold for $149. I find that quite remarkable. So keep your eyes open for the Steinbach little wooden ornaments. You'll find them in bags. That's where I found my last one. I found it in a bag of ornaments. So, okay, let's go to bead and sequins. We all had these. Our grandmothers or mothers, when you're as old as I am, made these. They came in little kits. They had beads and sequins and rhinestones, and they were put on a sequin styrofoam ball. Some of them were a lot fancier than the other ones. The ornaments themselves, if you find them that are already completed, they sell for fair money. A lot of people will lot them up because they just, individually, they don't sell for that much. If you find the kits, that's where the money is. And I find them quite frequently. As you look up in there in the right-hand corner, you'll see that it's just a little styrofoam ball with all the little sequins and sparkles. And there are certain brands of those. If you'll scroll down a little bit, Jason. You want to look for the Walcos. And there's a couple of other brands in there. That's the beadery ornament kit. But look for the kits. They're just, and sometimes you just kind of pass them by. You don't even realize that it's a great kit. So that's
cool.
That individual's been sold for $19.99. So it did well. It was pretty decorated. Had lots of sparkles on it. So. Okay, let's go to Jewel Bright. I just recently sold some Jewel Bright. I call these diorama. They were mid-century, and they are plastic, and they have some kind of a little scene. Actually, those aren't mine, but the ones on the right that have the poinsettias in them, mine had candy canes. They looked exactly like that. And I think I had 5 of them. I sold them for $19.99. I mean, they're not going to bring huge money, but you can quite often find these in bags of ornaments. If you find them in the actual original box, they sell for a little bit more. But they're just, and people collect the ornaments. Memories sell. If you were decorating a tree in 1950, your mom was putting these on your tree, and memories sell. People want to recapture their youth, so they want to put these, on their tree. I think they're kind of cute.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
So those are Jewel Bright, and also when you're listing those, a lot of people write Jewel Bright, and then I think you actually have to put it together. It's one
word.
I think it's one word.
So
and they come in all different little.
What's inside of them?
They're just plastic encased.
Like those round ones are Jewel Bright.
Christmas goodies.
So Summer's asking, they're all Jewel Brights, no matter what's inside of them, right?
Right, they're all Jewel Brights.
Gotcha.
That one sold 2 sets for $29.99. Like I said, they don't bring a lot of money, but if you can pick them up for pennies, I'll take $29.99 for a quarter anytime. Also known as the Peggy price.
Yeah, Summer has some to list. She didn't know what they were called until just now.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
In the boxes, but they just say unbreakable Christmas ornaments. They don't say anything about Jewel Bright on the ornament box. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look at that direct help just sitting here.
Look at that.
Just kaboom.
Here, I'm going to put me up on the screen here for a second.
There's my listing.
Let me see it.
That's a Jewel Bright, right?
It looks like a Jewel Bright. Yeah, plastic.
Or to the boxes.
So there's the boxes.
There's the boxes. There's
There's
it's a
some.
little blurry. I'm trying to figure out what it says.
So, oops, back it up. So, like on the front, it just says 4 Christmas ornaments. Come on, focus. There we go.
They could be a knockoff of Jewel Bright.
Okay. So
But
the brand is Jewel Bright. It's not a specific.
no, the brand is Jewel Bright. Those could have been, imported from Japan. Does it say where they were made?
I don't think so. I'll have to look.
Okay.
Made in America.
Made in America?
That's what it says. Not USA, so America. Probably 80s.
Made in America. I would have to do a little research on that. I think they're probably just something that was probably sold at Ben Franklin Woolsworth.
Yeah. Ben Franklin. I haven't thought about Ben Franklin's in a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
If I could go back in time, I'd go in and clear out a Ben Franklin.
Yeah, no kidding.
So am I okay to put Jewel Bright on the listing on those or no?
I would not.
Okay. So what do I call them otherwise?
They are vintage plastic diorama ornaments.
Okay. Cool. I will do that.
Okay. So those are just a few, vintage brands to kind of keep your eyes open for. Now let's talk about some modern brands that you can look for. I have a hard time saying this. Swarovski.
Now I'm gonna Swarovski.
Yeah, well, the S word. I find these quite frequently, and I think even Target sells them, Walmart sells them, but originally Swarovski was they sold little figurines that were in Hallmark stores and fine gift stores, and they were known for their jewels. They weren't real. They were just, kind of rhinestones. But Swarovski ornaments sell. I mean, they have all different kinds of deals with like Disney and all different other kinds of brands. And as you can see, they do a yearly snowflake. And this was a 2002, sold for $129. Someone in the group just recently sold one of these too. That 1992 one sold for $324.95. That's just a crystal snowflake, folks.
What do they sell? The 2018 model. What will that be?
I'd have to go up and look, but I'm thinking that they probably sell for maybe. Hold on a second. Let me go check and see what a Swarovski snowflake sells for.
Because I'm wondering, do you buy some and sit on them?
You could. Or you just check your. Let's see. The 2017 sold for $44.75.
Okay. So you would have to wait a little while, but yeah, I mean, the return on the 92, which of course probably wasn't that expensive, pretty awesome.
Right. I'm looking for the Swarovski store. Hold on, let me click on and make sure that was. Now I'm going to eat my words on that. They sell for about $79.
All right.
I'm looking at the 2018. They have a snowman with a broomstick that sells for $129. They have a Christmas set of snowflakes, 3 snowflakes that sell for $159. So they're not cheap.
But if you find them at the thrift store, then you're sitting pretty.
If you find them at the thrift store, you're sitting pretty, and you will find them every once in a while. That is the brand that you're looking for, the Swan. That is a Swarovski. I can't say that word. Swarovski Swan. And they also have a block logo with the letter C with the S inside the C. And that was used from 1976 to 1988. Those you really want to find. So, and these are just some sold. $179 for the Tinkerbell, $59.95 for the 1996 Angel Ornament. So they're worth keeping your eyes open for. Every once in a while, you'll find these not in the box, but just in a bag o' ornaments, as I like to call them now. Bag o' ornaments.
All right, what's next?
Let's go to, we're going to talk a little bit about Hallmark. You know, Hallmark kind of gets a bad rap because there are so many, and that is true. They manufactured thousands upon thousands upon thousands of different ornaments, millions, trillions. My sister and I, back in the day when we were both rolling in the dough, had excellent jobs, we would go out the day after Christmas, and each one of us would spend well over $1,000 up to $2,000 in Hallmark stores, buying everything at half price. So, you know, I've gotten rid of most of mine. She's sitting up on tons and tons. Let's talk about Birds of Beauty. You wouldn't think by looking at these ornaments that they would be so highly collectible. But scroll down a little bit, Jason, and let's take a look. Oh, well, some of these are old. That lot sold 6 ornaments sold for $825. Keep scrolling. I know I have some newer listings here. Damn. Oh, sorry about that. That one sold for $37.95. It retailed for $15.95. It's the 2017. So, you know, these are worth picking up. This 2006 one sold for $215.99. My sister has all of them.
All of them?
All of them. She has all of them. I did not buy birds. I only bought Santa Claus ornaments from Hallmark. Unfortunately, those did not fare as well as the Birds of Beauty. But I only collected Santa Clauses. So that was my mistake. Let's go on to Frosty Friends.
Oops.
Frosty Friends is another line of ornaments. Oh, you're on Eddie's.
Yeah,
you're on.
I don't know. I have everything lined up in order. Hold on a quick second.
Go back one.
Yeah, you sent me the same link twice. I didn't realize.
Oh, I sent you this one twice. I didn't send you Frosty Friends.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find it real quick.
Just go into Yes, Virginia, the files.
Yep.
And type in Frosty Friends, and it'll take you right to it. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
I was doing that late night.
So where am I going? The index to reference topics?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Okay.
Click on that. Oh, this is good. For everyone that wonders what's in the
There we go.
files, they're all easy to access.
All right, cool. That was easy peasy.
Frosty Friends. This line is still going on. It was the very first series of ornaments that Hallmark came out with. Scroll down a little bit, Jason, and let's take a look at what some of those first ones went for. That one sold for $197. This next one down below it sold for $262. This one had the original box. That one sold for $76. I should have put the dates on there. Oh, that's a 1981 ornament. And these are just comments people have made about, this is a 1990. These are just more comments. People go in and make comments about, you know, some of the older ones, when you look at the box, the plastic over the box is yellowed, and it has that, what I call an olive green velveteen setting with the ornament sets in it. So basically all of these are little Eskimos and seals, and they're all on an ice cube or a block of ice. They're Frosty Friends. Keep your eyes peeled for your Frosty Friends. They're out there. You just have to look for them. Someone in my group found one that only had, it lost its ice cube.
Oh.
She has it listed for like $99. Okay. This is my very favorite all-time Christmas movie. I am so happy that Hallmark is making these. It's Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And we all remember Cousin Eddie's famous RV, the scene where he is emptying the loo.
Shitter's full.
Take a look at this. This one is still selling for $300 and up.
Wow.
Just keep your, I mean, I'm sure that somewhere along the line, someone's going to find one at a garage sale and people will have no clue. They'll think that's an ugly Christmas ornament. I'm getting rid of it, or they'll donate it to a thrift store. So just keep your eyes open for anything that is Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It just goes to show that not all Hallmark ornaments are created equal. Some of them, even the newer ones, are, you know, worth picking up. They're worth good money. And then one of my, and let's go to Hallmark repaints and colораways. And I said, you know, if you, one of my hints or teasers was, what if I find a box that has a question mark over the ornament? Well, in Kansas City, where Hallmark is headquartered, they have an annual convention for all the avid Hallmark collectors. And they give away special ornaments. And this little Mary's Angel with a question mark simply means that she is painted a different color than the original. So she's a color away. So, and Hallmark collectors go crazy for that. Just absolutely crazy for it. Someone keeps IMing me. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can close the tab. Thank you.
I think that was me.
What?
That's me.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's
sorry about that. But it's a color away. So she has a different color from the original. Some of them are just plain white. They were never painted to begin with. And some of them you had to register at the actual convention to win. But they're just called colораways and repaints. So if you're
plain white, were they meant to stay white, or were they meant for you to paint them?
No, they were just meant to show you what it looked like before it was painted. Now, if you went to the store and bought it, it was painted. But this was just a unpainted ornament.
Gotcha. So Angela wants to know, are these best sold at auction or buy it now?
Oh, you know, a lot of people don't like auctions. I love auctions. I price my auctions of what I start them at what I would accept as a buy it now. I look at it this way. If I have a 5, a 7, or a 10-day auction and I only get one bid, yippee, I got it for what I was going to sell it for anyway at a buy it now. If I get lucky, then some, 2 or 3 people will start bidding on it and I'll make more. It might only be $20 more. It might be $100 more. So I am not afraid of auctions. Right now, if you have something that you think, well, this could be worth $20, it could be worth $100, but I'll be happy if I get 30 or 40 for it. Start it at 40, put it on a 5-day auction. If it doesn't sell, put it on a buy it now. You've got plenty of time. People are just right now beginning to get into that real Christmas tree. Oh, I need more ornaments on my tree. So don't be afraid of auctions. How do you feel about auctions?
You know, I've only been using them to clear out stuff that isn't moving. So I'll take things that have been in my store for like 16 months and use my free auctions to throw them up at $9.99. And that's the way I get rid of my old junk. So I don't typically do them on things that are fresh in my store. I typically go just buy it now.
Okay. Well, it doesn't hurt. Like I said, you list something at the buy it now price as an auction. If you sell it for that, then you made the money the same amount. And like you, I always want to use all of my free listings. So a lot of times, if I have like 30 or 40 auction listings, I'll go into my unsolds and redo them as an auction and list them, and then go back and put buy it now on it. So again, those are just some of the, and you know, they're not selling for a ton of money, but that one sold for 35. It was a limited edition ornament. But just things to keep your eyes peeled for. Christopher Radko.
Oops.
We talked about a little bit about him. He made these ornaments after his tree fell over, his family tree fell over, and it broke all of their ornaments. He makes all kinds of ornaments. He's kind of sold out because you can buy Christopher Radko at Target now. That kind of breaks my heart when you see brands like Christopher or what are the pajamas?
Nick and Nora.
Nick and Nora, thank you. Sell out to Target. I hate to see the good brands go to a Target store, but you know, everybody's chasing the money. These, like I said, when you can tell by the hook, by the ornament. Just keep your eyes peeled. We're going to talk a little bit about my bag of ornaments. I paid $1.50 for a bag of ornaments, and I immediately sold, and I think I IM'd you this.
Yeah.
The first set were the Peconi. This thing was full of Peconis. I think I probably paid, there was maybe 20, 25 Peconis, 4 Radkos, and a clown in there. I sold the first 4 Peconis for $19.99. So I already had my $1.50 back. And click the next one. I sold the clown, sold it for $7.99. It was plastic. It wasn't even glass. That lady was thrilled. She sent me the nicest note. Saying that it was exactly what she wanted. There's a buyer for everything. I sold this one. This was one of the 4 Radkos. It was candy canes, 4 little candy canes. Sold it for $19.99 plus shipping. And then I sold 2 more Peconis. These were a train. I had 4 of them. I actually sent her all 4. 2 of them, the wheels were broken. But she also sent me back a nice note saying, oh, thank you, because you could hang them on the tree and with the broken wheels on the back. But I was happy to get rid of them. Like I said, you know, $9.99.
I've got 2 tiki mugs that there's holes in them because they got broke in transit, but I've got them displayed so you don't see the hole until I find one without a hole.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how collectors' minds work.
And then yesterday, I sold, you have it? I sold the pufferfish.
I'll say this awesome pufferfish. Holy cow.
You see that one bid? He actually paid $80, not $79.99, but he paid $80 for his blowfish. And I still have the lovely peacock, which I have at a starting bid of $399. You know, I'll be honest, if I can get 300, the last one, like I said, sold in 2015 for $500. That was on WorthPoint. A lady sold hers in the beginning of November on eBay for $199. I'm holding out for at least $399. But that's one heck of a $1.50 bag.
No kidding.
And the thing of it was, this peacock was hidden inside. I saw the puffer fish and I saw the Radco tag, and that's why I picked it up. I wasn't even looking at the Piconi. I thought those Piconis were cheap Walmart ornaments, glass ornaments, which it turns out they were not. But look at the bags when you go into the stores. Oh, these are Kugels. Oh, I think I did this so you could see the difference. See how that Kugel has a neck on it? That means it's not antique. This one could be vintage, but it's blown glass, but it has a neck on it. An antique Kugel will not have a neck on it. It's flesh. It almost looks like they may have taken a cap from an antique Kugel and put it on a vintage. I mean, this is still worth money, but the difference between a vintage and a antique Kugel is several $100s.
So let's go vintage.
Yeah, let's go vintage.
All right, what's our right?
Oh, we're going to talk about Lefton figurines.
Oh, wait a minute, hang on. I think we had Napco first.
Napco. Okay.
Okay. Oh, under the Napcos when you sent me the link to the Kugel. So let's go back.
Oh, that's why that Kugel came up.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I just clicked all the links you sent me.
Hey, when you do stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning, I cannot be held responsible. I am a late night person, and lately I've had so much to do between Christmas shopping and wrapping and taking care of pictures. And my mom's in California, so I am shampooing the living room carpet, and I'm cleaning out all the kitchen cabinets while she's gone. So my plate's been full lately. Napco. This is the company of National Potteries Corporation. Started in 1938, and everybody in 1950 had these little figurines on their knickknack shelves. Very popular. Some of them in the lower right hand, those are called spaghetti with the little spaghetti glass. But people are crazy collectors for these. Absolutely crazy collectors. They literally came in hundreds of different types of figurines. And they're not tall. They're probably maybe 4 inches tall. And I mentioned one of my teasers was, do you know what? Oh, now I have to look it up because I can't remember the word. It's a long word. Hold on a second.
Do you know the way to San Jose?
No, not the way to San Jose. Probably can't find it now. Starts with an A. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this is it. Nope.
I'm so jonesing to go hunt for Christmas stuff now, but I got a pack to leave for Florida to teach my classes.
Oh, okay.
All I want to do is go to the thrift store when we finish this, but I can't.
Anyway, it was a long word, and it simply meant that they made figurines that had, they were like reindeer, and they had human attributions to them. So they made the Napco and Holt Howard and all of them made different figurines that look like humans that were not. So keep your eyes peeled for these. Like I said, they come in the three most popular brands are probably the Holt Howard, the Napco, and the Lefton.
So there's the Lefton.
There's the Lefton. And they all look pretty similar. Lefton did a lot of pixies, and there are people that just collect pixies. If you get the little Lefton red sticker on there, then that's good. A little Metallica there.
Yeah, I know. So I was trying to clear it out, and I went to my video I shot last night.
So, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see these sell on average between 30 to 100. Some of them go up. This pair down here sold for $132.50. They were a boy and a girl. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled. I find these.
She recently sold a pixie with a repair and the sticker.
There you go. And these are Holt Howards. I always call these Howard Holts. I think that it sounds funny. They're famous for their winking Santa. These mugs, they still make these today. They sell them. But the original winking Santa mugs were quite the thing. They make glassware. That one up in the upper right-hand corner is a Humpty Dumpty. Again, they made lots of pixies. And if you'll scroll down, we'll look at the solds. Those three guys sold for $62.89. It was a candle holder. That little pixie sold for $36. Oh, there are two of the starry-eyed. They also make starry-eyed, and they were mugs. Those two sold for $102.50. Not bad. There's the glasses. They sold for $19.99. Those were Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen gave away glasses, and they all had that little tall Santa hat. They came in black, too. I used to have those black ones. I don't know what happened to them. And that's it for the Holt Howards. So let's talk about House of Lloyd. Again, House of Lloyd is, you know, it was not expensive when it first came out. But people from the 1950s, 60s, again, you're buying memories. I actually sold that one in the upper left-hand corner, that little glass, that ornament, a diorama, as it's called. And I think I made about $30 off of it. Probably new. It probably cost $1.98 back in 1950, if even that. They make nativities. I sold some Native American angels that were in a House of Lloyd box. And I think I sold those for $25. Picked them up for maybe $1. So keep your eyes open for those. You do better if it's in the box. There's a nativity sold for $38.88. There's a Santa that sold for $50.
Santa showing in his slippers. I love it.
And it's just called House of Lloyd. It was just a real inexpensive brand, but people now are buying memories.
Oh, heck yeah.
Other vintage to watch for, aluminum trees. I'm still looking for an aluminum tree. 1950s, 60s, even into the 70s, everybody that was anybody had an aluminum tree. We had one. You had the color light wheel to go with it. Some people didn't decorate it at all. They just had the color light wheel going. And I need to go in and update this one too. That one, I believe that was a 6 foot. Oh, that was a 2 foot rare evergleam blue frost aluminum. I wish it still had the picture. Sold for $713 with 18 bids. A 2 foot aluminum tree. The color wheel sold for $46.25. Renee has found 8. I can't find one. I did find a modern one, which was a reproduction, but that doesn't count. Keep scrolling down. This is one that she found. I mean, basically, if you find a 6 foot tree, you're looking anywhere from, and depending, they have pom-pom trees that have the palms on the ends of the things. All of those come in paper sleeves. Someone emailed me the other day, said, I found one, but the paper sleeves are deteriorating. I told her to go get some butcher paper or, some brown paper and make new sleeves for them, because they do need to be put away properly. Because, you could be looking at a $500 tree. Hers was 6 foot. So, and it was the pom-pom or the pom trees. So keep your eyes peeled for a aluminum tree. Like I said, knee huggers. These, again, were sold at Ben Franklin Woolsworth, probably 19 cents on the counter with your Christmas. You hung them from your tree. All it is a pixie, and he can bend his knees up and wrap his arms around them, and they call him a knee hugger. You can sell these anywhere from $7.50 to $10, and I literally have picked them up for a nickel. So, paired up, $39.99. Depends on how old the face. There are people that just collect knee huggers. That lot sold for $32.
Yeah, my mom still has some of these. I remember decorating with them for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people just call them pixies when they list them. You have to put knee hugger. The true collector will know, or they could be looking for pixies, hoping you're selling them for $5 when it's a $25 pixie. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about wall pockets.
Wall pocket. Oh no, that's Hot Pockets.
Yeah, Hot Pockets. These came in all different styles. Back in the day, everybody had a wall pocket on their wall. They were much sought after household decoration back in the 1950s and 60s. And they made Christmas ones. And you could put flowers in them. They make them to hold your scissors in. But these are just different Christmas wall pockets. Now let's scroll down. They were made by companies like Holt Howard, Roseville. Those little wall pockets from 1960s sold for $288. Wow. The spaghetti, $75.89. That was a Thames. Frosty the Snowman, made in Japan, sold for $44. That one sold for $96.99. The ones with the girls on them, that one sold for $129 plus shipping.
That one's kind of creepy.
Just a wall pocket.
Yep.
Everybody needed a wall pocket. And I think that's about it. Jason, that's the hour.
Yeah, that was it.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, that was almost like dead on there because we started at 12:15 and that was 1:12. Once we got going, that was a beautiful piece of work right there. Yeah. Any other questions in the chat? I know a lot of people are busy and will be watching this later. So when you see this, holidays to you. But yeah, any other questions? Jinni's in the Secret Beach, obviously, but go over to Yes Virginia. Every day is Christmas on eBay and get signed up. Join the group if you haven't already. It's a great group. So my question is, who do you think gets more questions in a week? You on Christmas stuff or me on tiki stuff?
Oh, I bet it's a toss-up.
Yeah, I've thrown CDs into the mix. It's been kind of nutty this week. But I would love to see how it plays out because I'm sure you get them like me. And doesn't it break your heart when someone finds something and it's crappy and you got to tell them it's crappy?
It does. I mean, just yesterday I had to tell somebody that she had something listed at vintage. And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's vintage. I don't think it's worth $100. And especially my younger members. I mean, to them, what is vintage is not the same as vintage to me.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, they see things through a different light. Their perspective of what's old and what's, you know, anything from 1990 is old to them. If you're born in 1995, then, you know, 1990 is your grandma's stuff.
Very true. And, you know, I grew up with I hung out with my grandparents every weekend when I was a kid. So to me, growing up in the 70s, I was listening to the Andrews Sisters. I was listening to Al Jolson. And so and for a while, I thought that was contemporary.
Really?
My friends at the playground are like, who are the Andrews Sisters? I'm like, you know, drinking rum and Coca-Cola. I'm like, they're like, no. So I've kind of got that old soul. I grew up hanging out with my grandparents. And so I watch old movies. I mean, I was watching like James Cagney movies when I was like 8 years old. So, you know, I see it as vintage, but yeah, you're right. When I had my 20-year-old assistant and she was working on 1970s music, she's like, who's Eric Clapton? I'm like, oh.
Oh God.
All right, so we got one last question. It's a great question. Angela wants to know, what have you never found besides the tree? Like, what's your holy grail right now? What are you on the hunt for?
Oh, geez. You always put me on the spot with these. I'm trying to think.
That's all Angela's fault.
You know what? I would like to find some Lodro, some of the older Lodro Christmas pieces. I have half a dozen Lodro Santa Clauses that, again, I would never part with. He's one of, and a lot of people don't care for him. I just happen to like him. There are some, oh God, you know, anything Santa Claus, anything old and Santa Claus. I mean, antique Santa. I have never shared this with anybody before online, but when I lived in Arkansas, I traveled, and I know who did it, but someone came in and stole all of my antique Santa Clauses.
Oh my!
There was a lady that lived across the street, and I lived in Northwest Arkansas. And there are gypsies up there. And this lady was kind of senile. Her husband finally left her, and she knew what I had. And again, I was traveling. I was gone all week. And I had a basement that you could enter. My house was built on the side of a mountain in the Ozarks. And you could go in, and they broke the lock downstairs. And I never went down there. And I moved. I didn't find out they were gone until I moved. And the people that they rented the house, the people that owned the house came over and talked to me and said that she was working in antique stores and she was stealing from one antique store and taking it to the other. I mean, it was a sad situation, but a majority of all of my old antique Santa Clauses are gone. It burst my bubble for a while, but I got over it. I still love Santa Claus.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that, you know, yeah, I understand why it burst your excuse me. I understand why it burst your bubble, but I'm so glad that you didn't let it carry on forever.
Well, it just motivated me to get out and search every thrift store I could. Oh, I have one more thing I forgot almost to share. If you will, maybe I'll have to go over here. Hold on a second, and I am it to you, Jason.
Sure. Yeah.
My last teaser for today was, can you sell a box of plastic ornaments that cost you a couple of dollars for $59.95? And I said, yes, you can. Let's see here. I have to wrap them up and ship them out tomorrow. Give me just a second. And the ironic thing about it is that I sold these today. And yesterday when I was out thrifting, lo and behold, I found another set.
Nice. That's the universe saying hello.
I know. Here you go, Jason. You can pop it up.
Coming up right now. Da, 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 da.
Okay. And if you look at the box, it says proclamation ornaments. And you go, what are those? I mean, it doesn't even look real Christmassy. These have Bible scriptures on them. They're cheap plastic, and they come with a little certificate of authenticity. And these were sold by, I believe, one of those television evangelists that comes on and asks for a $200 donation, and in return you'll get this lovely box of proclamation ornaments. Or for $300 you can get a prayer towel. You know, we've all seen those on television.
Oh yeah.
And so I sold this box. I got lots of lowball order offers on it, but some people have them up for like $100. I thought $59.99 was a pretty good return, and I'll be taking pictures this afternoon of my second box.
Nice.
So, proclamation ornaments. Keep your eyes peeled, people. You may not think it doesn't. Well, I guess it does have an ornament on the front, but just to look at it, it doesn't jump out Christmas ornament.
Not all that exciting. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Right. Well, that was excuse me, our guest webinar for November. Yay! So thank you all who tuned in live, and those of you who watching after the fact. You know, we love you just as much. Fit us into your schedule and enjoy it. And Jenny's, you got any questions for Jenny? She'll be around her group and my groups, and feel free to tag her and ask her. Just like if you got a Tiki question or a CD question, I'll be happy to answer. And with that, I will say thank you. Happy holidays. And I'm going to pack, so I'll see some of you in Florida in 48 hours.
My pleasure to be on your show. Come on over and join Yes, Virginia. You can learn a lot. The files are full.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jenny. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.